Welcome to TMI Thursdays.
Good evening, everybody. Number 9. We are on number 9.
Number 9. Yes, people, here we are.
Love it,
it's a
love
big
it,
number.
love it.
It's a big number.
Number 9. This was the number, the last time I started a podcast in 2020. This was the number 9 wherever I dropped off the radar.
This is the threshold of which you've not been beyond.
No. So let's just break through the threshold tonight.
That makes it really important.
What?
It makes it really important.
It makes it really important for me. Yes, yes, because I went in with big energy, and as you do, you move into these things. You start a new project, you go straight in, and you're super excited. And the first time you receive kind of like a meh feedback, and you're like, "Why am I even doing this?
Yeah,
I'm shit at it." And then you talk yourself out of it, and then you just stop showing up. And it's not even. It's, you know what, it doesn't even matter whether it's the others, you stop showing up for yourself. And I think that's the biggest mistake people make when they start projects and they drop off at the first kind of gentle hurdle, at the first piece of feedback, and they just give up on themselves. So this year, my word for 2026 is committed.
Right, committed.
Committed. But like committed to feedback, committed to failing, committed to life, committed to whatever I need to commit to push through. And I was actually having this conversation. I was talking to my father last night, and we were chatting about that, because they were asking me about the podcast and what is this, and you're always up to something, you're always doing something. And I'm like, yes, but this time I'm hoping to push through past all the challenges.
Mate, it's so important. It's so easy. And they call it fads, right? Yeah. And a fad is basically where you start something, you give it a go, it seems like a good idea, you're bought into it. But the moment it starts requiring a bit of dedication, the moment you start to like get those creeping thoughts in that tell you, oh, I could be doing something else, or do I have to really do that? The moment you give in on that, then that's it. It's gone. But
how do we get over that?
Well, success doesn't come before that. It comes way after that. You got to earn it.
You got to earn it.
I
said didn't I say in a couple of episodes before, I said feedback is the golden thread to success.
Breakfast of Champions.
And before, I have always given up at the first piece of feedback. I'd be like, yep, no, I'm out. So this time I'm going to weave that golden thread as far as I can go. Even if it's shit feedback, I'm going with it. I'll just learning a skill. Yeah.
No, listen, we're pushing way through 9. 9 is just a milestone that meant something from a previous try.
Yeah.
But that don't apply now.
No.
I won't let you.
I know. This time it's also different because the first time I did the podcast.
Committed to me.
I'm committed to you, and I'm committed to these conversations live in our podcast. But first time I did it, it was on my own, and I just had a different guest every time, and I had some wonderful conversation, and I wish I pursued it. And the reason why I dropped off at the time, I reached out to someone who originally said, yes, this would have been quite a figure up around the North Coast. A person who, I've read the person's book, and they said yes, and then literally last minute, they were just like, nah, no thanks, see you later.
What was the reason?
The reason was the person said that they always promised themselves that they're not going to go do these podcasts, they're not going to get involved, and my following just wasn't big enough. I'm like, sorry.
Oh,
I'm starting out.
So I'm in sales, and like there is a known thing which is not exactly right all the time,
Yeah.
but in most instances, when you get told that you haven't got the deal, they give you a reason, and you go, okay, all right, okay, and then you say, is there anything else that you didn't like about our offer? And they give you a second reason,
Right.
and the third reason they give you
Okay.
is actually the reason.
Really?
And it's a psychological thing that people lie about what the real reason is. But if you ask enough times, the inconsequential reason that is, and this little thing over here, just as an add-on, is actually the reason. And he told you that. So in what you just said to me, you went, I promised myself I wouldn't do this, blah, 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 and your following wasn't big enough. That was the reason.
Fair.
But it's really interesting.
So, tell me this: if I was to use that in any other situations, let's say you ask someone, like, you wanna,
Why don't you like me?
yeah,
What's wrong with me?
give me 3 reasons.
There was this like, I'm going back many years here, but just as an example, there was this girl who at work really liked me, and like I really liked her as a friend, and I got on amazingly well with her as a friend, incredibly well with her as a friend, and I valued her friendship so much, but she wanted more. And she was quite a brave, confident person, and just phoned me up one day and said, what is it? I'm brave enough. Tell me why won't you go out with me? And I couldn't tell her. I didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to say I didn't fancy her, and that was the problem. There was nothing wrong with her, but I gave her all these reasons, and I just skirted round it. But it's not good.
So, what was your third reason?
My third reason was, like, not my type.
Was that
But that's a small thing.
Was that the real reason?
No, my real reason was like, we work together. I'm not going to go out with someone because I work with them, because that's just awkward. I've done that in the past, and I just didn't like the dynamic of actually being in a workplace with my partner. It just felt weird. I didn't like it. So that wasn't the real reason. And then I can't even remember what the second reason was, but it was another bit of bullshit. And then the other one was, and you're not my type, really. Just joking. But no, I weren't. That was the real reason.
That's fair
but
enough.
You hide it.
Yeah, I think that is a good enough reason nowadays. Now, I don't think that was like that. It was like that before, because that's how people met in work. But is it just post Me Too movement that now people are just afraid to, link up or chat each other up or take it to a different, especially men, because they're afraid that it will be classed as harassment or because that's how people met before. That's most of the relationships.
I've had so many of my successful relationships have come about because I got to know someone at work.
See,
even if it happened during like when you were working together, or if you went off and went your separate ways but stayed connected. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like, really worked. Is that not the case now? Is the workplace not a great place to meet people and for romance to blossom?
I don't think so. I think people are afraid because of all the cases or all the things that they saw online in news, and it being misused either way. It works both ways. Wow. And therefore people are just too scared to approach or take it to that. Interesting. Take it to the next level. Yeah, I hadn't realised that, but I guess the world has changed a little bit, and I guess I get it. And the reason why, 20 years ago, whenever I first moved here and I started a job, the job I was in for a long, long time, And I started in production. I was like a production operative. And the first Christmas due, start a job and you're there for a few months, first Christmas due. I had a fling with one of the mechanics. Tell you what, that haunted me for a whole year. Everybody was talking about it for a whole year. This was 20 years ago. And I promised myself that I will never, ever, ever in my life will get involved with anyone in work.
Yeah. And like, yeah,
Nah.
I understand that. I think the other...
But we were both single. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
we were both single. We fancied each other. We had a bit of fun. But Jesus Christ, swear to God, 12 months worth of teasing.
I think that was the problem, not you. Like, hooking up with someone at work is, like, in my eyes, one of the most natural things ever. But it's people's reaction to it, and like almost like persecuting you a little bit by making such a big deal of it is not cool, really, I guess. So
By the way, it was him who was a bit of a... Because there was other girls on the shift who had a fling with. So we were all like little puppies. Do you know? And that was him who was a bit of a peacock.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
like, he had a string of you,
Yeah.
working his way through the ladies.
Jesus. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, nightmare.
How comes you were
Anyway.
the focus of so much attention then?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, 12 months after.
Maybe because I was the newbie.
Ah,
I think because I was the newbie on the shift.
yeah. Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
And look at me. Like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. That is very interesting. I always thought like the workplace was the
Yeah.
ideal place to, because you get to know people, right? You get to see
Yeah.
them, you get to understand them, and you get drawn to people. I found out, do you know what I found at work? That I used to like end up liking people that I would never have felt attracted to
Okay.
if I was out and about and just saw
Yeah.
them in like an initial instance.
Okay.
You people who I didn't, initially didn't fancy, but became attracted because of who they were, because of what I knew about them.
What do you call? Is that the sapiosexual?
What? What
I think
was that?
I think the sapiosexual is a person who is solely attracted to a person based on their personality.
Okay. I wouldn't say I'm exclusively that, but
Yeah.
that is definitely a part of my
Okay.
my attraction. Yeah, definitely 100%. I'm not fully that.
Yeah.
But definitely part that.
Yeah. Who else is?
What's the opposite when you just like look at body, form, face, and personality don't matter? Do you know?
Shallow?
Oh, perfect. That is exactly it.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
So yeah, awkward.
Awkward. Well, listen, before we get there,
Ooh.
did your house get flooded? And we should tell for those of you that are local in Antrim, we had Storm Chandra, was it?
Chandra.
Anyway,
Whatever.
we had a storm that lasted a couple of days, and it was pretty airy, weren't it? And like the wind was mental, and the amount of rain that came down in a short amount of time was biblical. And what tends to happen here is too much rain floods the local river, which runs through the local town, and it is known to severe flooding every now and then, isn't it? And then all of a sudden, the day after the storm, because it takes about a day for the rain to make its way down from the mountains to come down the river, and it was like people in your street were sandbagging.
Yes, so where I live, there's river beautifully flows behind my home. Now,
6 Mile water.
6 Mile water river. Now there's two rows of houses. I am the front row of the river, so there's another row of houses behind me, and then there's the river. So if anything, those houses behind me would have been first flooded, but the water started coming up through the storm drains as well. So the street has flooded as well. So I'm kind of like the river can get to me from both sides because I'm kind of like in the middle
Yeah.
of the street. So yes, we were out there sandbagging, and they were like, "Do you need some?" And I'm like, I would much rather the back row gets all the sandbags because you can hold up the water.
Yeah, because if it comes through you, it's coming to me. So why don't we just stop it at source?
Yes, why don't we stop it at your house?
Yeah, that'll help. Yeah.
Mine, so I was like, no,
Yeah.
you take the sandbags, you
Yeah.
go ahead.
Quite interestingly, like my boss at work, he don't live far from you.
Okay.
And he showed me a couple of videos from his back garden. Now his back garden actually like backs onto the river.
Okay.
So he's literally standing at his back fence of the garden, looking at this river.
Wow.
That is literally 2 or 3 inches from getting into his garden and flooding his garden and getting into the back of his house. It got like proper hairy.
Does he get into it? Obviously not when it's stormy, but
What does he get into the river?
into the river for a dip, for a nice.
I've never asked him.
You're gonna have to ask him whether he gets into the river.
But I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But he's got a big dog, and I'd say the dog probably enjoys jumping in and out.
Yeah,
I guess if it depends.
Ask him.
I don't know if it's particularly deep outside his garden. I don't know if it's just like,
as long as it's like waist waist height, you can
Yeah.
get in and dip in.
I guess you could. But would you go swimming out your back garden? Is that cool?
Well, if I had a beautiful, I don't know, clean water, clean river, absolutely, I would.
Yeah, I guess I would too. I will ask him, and I will share
There you go.
share it with the listeners, and let you know if my boss actually bathes in the river behind his house.
I'm
convenience.
anxiously awaiting the answers on a
Yeah.
postcard.
I will. But yeah, I'm glad you didn't get flooded,
No,
because I was a
all
bit
good.
concerned at one point.
Well, listen, I would have rocked up to your house, no bother.
I didn't get flooded.
Well, you're
No.
far away from the
Yeah,
river, so
too
you'll
far
be
away.
alright.
So
Yeah.
we would have been all right.
Yeah. Anyway, we have an awkward moment of the year, maybe even.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think you all might be involved in this.
It's pretty mega, right?
I think everybody's involved in this.
I mean, I don't particularly watch the news, but my social feed, almost one in three things I come across is about this. Everyone's talking about it. It's bonkers.
Guys on Facebook, guess what we're talking about? Could be the awkward moment of the year. We're talking about
Awkward for who?
awkward for who? There's two parties involved, and it's all over the media worldwide. I don't even have a TV, and I'm seeing it all, and I'm involved in it.
Says it all, didn't it? Don't even have a TV.
Don't even have a TV, and I have a TV, but I don't watch anything like that. I don't watch anything as such. I watch YouTube, and probably that's it. But even I'm aware of this awkward feud.
Yes.
Of the year.
You're giving a little bit away
feud.
there.
Yes, who is it? Guess who is it? Should we give more clue?
Yeah.
What would be? It's a family feud.
It is a family feud that is intensifying
As we
and-
speak.
Yeah, and it's a famous family here in the UK.
Yes. Well, I think worldwide too.
World now.
Well,
Yeah.
even before that, I think they were known. Definitely where I
Well-
come from, everybody knows them.
Mum's a pop star, and
Yeah.
dad's an iconic footballer.
Ooh, we're getting closer.
Well, I mean, we've given it away there.
We're
really,
giving it
haven't we?
away, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it'd be interesting to talk about this, right? Because I mean, just to put it out there, like I haven't got a Scooby what's really going on. I don't know what's fact. I don't know what isn't. But this is purely just observations, really, around what is a very public family rift, clearly, and we'll get onto it in a bit. But like we have a bit of that in our own lives, don't we? Everyone does.
Everyone does.
So that's an interesting topic to cover.
Yeah, so for all of you who are watching, we are talking about the most awkward family feud of the year. Brooklyn Beckham versus the Beckham clan.
The Beckham clan.
Yeah.
Blimey. That has gone supersonic. hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
But I think it was him who perhaps launched
Well,
the supersonic
well,
rocket.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not. I don't follow those kind of tabloids, but I wasn't even aware that that Brooklyn had got married. I didn't even know that. I obviously knew that the Beckhams had kids. I knew that Brooklyn was the firstborn, and very famously he was named after where he was conceived, and all of that jazz. And I know who the guy is and everything else. But like, they've obviously gone on, grown their family, and then they've grown up, and now they're men and women in their own right. The kids, I guess, and Clan Beckham has just got bigger and 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 bigger, and and now they're all over the news.
I'm not. So my exposure to the whole Beckham family situation, obviously I was first exposed to Victoria when she was part of Spice Girls.
Massive.
I never really watched.
Do you remember which one she was?
Posh
Spice.
Posh
right.
Spice, yes. And it's so funny. Yeah. And then I obviously I didn't know much about David because I didn't really watch football or something, and I was never really into blonde boys. I was never a big fan of Beckham. I wasn't salivating over these Beckham ads. He never really was my type. And then the next thing, then
too metrosexual.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with metrosexual men. I don't really. I don't think about the man any less masculine just because he has a skin routine.
Got ya.
For me, I don't think that's anything to do how masculine or feminine a man is, whether he puts an eye cream on or not.
Got ya.
So I wouldn't hold that against David Beckham, to be honest. I think I wish more men would perhaps throw a bit of skincare on, at least a basic moisturiser.
As she looks at me.
Do you moisturise?
Yeah.
You sure?
Not every time. Most of the time.
I have a wonderful friend from back home in Slovakia. We went to high school together, and I believe he has a YouTube channel, Luboš, and he talks about skincare for men, and swear to God, this dude has a skin of a 20-year-old, and he's the same age as me. He's got glass skin. So I'd be sending you gentlemen to his YouTube channel where he talks about skincare for men.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyway,
so the Beckhams.
The Beckhams, yes.
Yeah. The Beckhams are not getting on right now.
No.
But do you know what? Do you know what I find really... Do you know what I find most amazing about like the whole thing so far?
Yeah.
There is so many people talking about it, so many people covering it. It's such a massive hot topic.
I know, and here we are covering it too.
And I don't hear anything from the Beckhams themselves.
So there was a couple of... I think David made a statement last week, didn't he?
What
Where he
did
talks
say?
about you just have to let your kids make their own mistakes.
So he's already labelled it a mistake, potentially, then?
Potentially, he did, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's right. I mean, I admit that, as a parent, your kids often learn from their mistakes. But this all kind of kicked off with, he made a statement, didn't he? Brooklyn. Because there've been rumours.
Yes, now, he made a massive statement. Wow, I read it.
I was shocked at how kind of direct it was. It was like a kind of dagger blow, really. And it was really like, that weren't really holding any punches. But it all kind of came about. There were rumours circling that there was a split, weren't there? Or there was a rift in the family as such. And it seemed to centre around his wedding to Nicola Peltz.
Yes.
Who's now Nicola Peltz Beckham. And there was a couple of things in the wedding that went down that perhaps we'll cover in a sec. But for the next, pardon me, for the next 3 years, there were rumours that there was a rift in the family that started with that and just went on and on and on, forgive me, and then went on and on and on, and everyone was rumoring, I think, and then there was a few no-shows where there was family photos, family get-togethers, and Brooklyn weren't there. So by not being there, it fed the flames. And then, well, it weren't rumour anymore, was it?
So before we get into this deep debate here, let's just kind of state what side are we on, and everybody who's watching us, let's you pick a side, and then let's see if at the end of the debate we can change a side. What side are you on? Are you Clan Beckham or Brooklyn Beckham?
I'm Clan Brooklyn Beckham.
No, it's Brooklyn Beckham versus the rest of the clan.
Yeah, so I'm Clan Brooklyn Beckham. That's his name.
Yeah.
Clan Brooklyn. Is that simpler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on.
You're Brooklyn Beckham side. Okay.
I am. What about you?
Ooh, it's a difficult one.
It is difficult.
First of all, I've splinters in my ass because I always sit on a fence.
Not today.
So I'm gonna have to pick a bloody side. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of my co-host. He needs to get this.
Goodness.
Cough mints, please send us cough mints. So, right, okay. For the purpose of tonight's episode, I am gonna go with the other side. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
The Beckhams with the family. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you're Brooklyn. I'm the fam.
Yep.
Cool.
So
put your point across.
Yeah, my point is, and this is not based on any facts, like I say, I don't know. I just get an instinct that I'm on Brooklyn's side. And my reason for being on Brooklyn's side, this is a kid who was born. He didn't really have much to do with it. He just arrived. And he arrived into this celebrity family and this celebrity lifestyle and this brand, and I use that word very deliberately, this brand where he couldn't live the life of a normal child because he had to toe the line. And I'm not saying it's exactly the same.
He's the firstborn, isn't he?
But you can see similarities with Harry and the royal family.
Ah, interesting.
If you think about it now, and there's from one extreme to if that's extreme, right? And I'm nothing against the royal family or Harry or anything like that. But what do we know about Harry? Harry's like, I don't really get the constitutional makeup of the royal family. It's very formal. I don't like it. I'm not happy with it. I don't really want to be part of it. I don't buy into it. And he's very publicly come outside of the structure of the royal family and married, and we all know what's gone on there. And I see
Brooklyn.
parallels.
Yeah, okay.
I see parallels, and I see a kid, a man. Forgive me. I see a man.
Yeah, a married man.
I see a man that was born into stardom. Probably didn't choose it. Probably didn't want it. Probably just wanted to be his own person. And in fact, that's a really important point, and I'll come on to that. This is clearly a guy that wants to be his own man. And I think the pressure of being part of Brand Beckham and the family was that he can't be his own man. He has to act and live a life that is for the greater good of the Brand Beckham family. And I don't think that is him naturally. And I can understand someone like that wanting to go their own way and break away from it if the pressure gets too much. That makes sense to me. What about you?
It's a difficult one because when you watch, because obviously we only see 5% of the whole situation.
We don't know what's really going on.
We have no idea. We have absolutely no idea what's going on behind the scenes. But based on other content that I have seen about the Beckhams, and from documentaries or all of that, like, I wouldn't compare them to the Royals, obviously. It's a different,
Yeah.
But
my point was very extreme, but I was just trying to get a parallel for rebellion.
Like, they were just, when you watched the documentary about David, just a normal guy.
Yeah, I think
he worked really hard for where he's at.
I think he's the most normal one there. I'm not sure that's the source of Brand Beckham. I think Brand Beckham came through other people. Well, he's part of it.
Yeah. Because he was just...
Really down-to-earth geezer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. He is very down-to-earth.
Do you know, so we're just looking at the facts here, yeah, what we saw. We're looking at we're examining 5% of what we know.
Yeah.
But based on that, we're trying to have an informed opinion of a family feud. But would I think that he's a decent guy?
Yeah.
And if perhaps there's any kind of problem or feud, that would be Victoria.
It's interesting because I got nothing to base this on, but she looks fierce. Do you know what I mean? She looks like someone you don't mess with.
And it's probably the two women. I have a feeling that it's the two women.
So Nicola
and Victoria are perhaps
strong, potentially sort of barbed women and a bit competitive with each other.
Because if we simply look at the thinking and the DNA of male versus female, you know, I go back to we had this conversation when we talked about men having honor and doing the right thing despite how they feel.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side, women acting on their emotions. So
very much so.
If we apply that,
very
much to me feels like this is a feud between the women and the men are the
in fallout as a result of it. It's a very interesting one, and like, I mean, think about it, right? It all started around the wedding.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing for me, right? This is it. A wedding day, never had one, but a wedding day is the most important day in a woman's life. They say, I mean, you have kids, so, you know, maybe not, but in terms of her as a woman, not a parent, but her as a woman, the most important day she will have is her wedding day, right? And that is her day to live her dream, right? She's fantasized about her wedding while she's been growing up, you know, from a toddler, you know, right through to when she's ready to get married. So it's a big deal, right? And if the rumours are true, and I don't know if they are, but if the rumours are true and that Victoria Beckham did interrupt the first dance so that she could dance with her son instead, and interrupted that whole routine, which is sacrosanct, then man, that I can understand that going down like a lead balloon. I think
it started before that. I think there was some communication way before the wedding around the wedding dress.
Well, this is it. Now,
I think.
So you think she struck the first blow then?
Well, there's two stories. There's a story that Victoria, I think, cancelled the wedding dress, but at the same time, there's another story that Nicola.
It wasn't made in time.
Or it wasn't made in time, but also apparently she threw an absolute hissy fit 3 times. And then, so it was a bit of a back and forth tit for tat there, both sides.
So for those of you that don't know, Victoria Beckham is a very famous fashion designer now, actually, and and really, really successful. And she, I guess, was due to design a wedding dress for Victoria to wear to marry her son. Beautiful story, right? I mean, what's not to love about that? But something went wrong with the wedding dress. And I don't know, like from what I've read, which again is just not factual, but from what I've read, she ended up not wearing the Victoria Beckham dress. She ended up wearing another one, and claimed that it was because the Altia or whatever they call the dress.
No idea. Never been married, so
wouldn't or couldn't alter the dress in time for the wedding.
Yeah.
So there's if, buts and maybes, but
so there's lots of like things I think that kind of added up,
and that was in
and then
2022.
Obviously the wedding dance was, and then apparently the DJ spoke out.
So here's the thing, right? So the whole wedding thing's gone on, the whole wedding dress, forgive me. So obviously something's brooding, whatever it is, and then you get to the actual wedding day itself, and then emotions are running high, and then the wedding dance gets disrupted. But I didn't know that about the DJ. What? Tell me what happened there.
So apparently the DJ spoke out about what actually happened, because there was,
Right.
again, two sides to every story. Apparently it was a normal dance. Apparently it was an erotic dance and an inappropriate dance. But the DJ spoke out, and he... obviously he's not... I don't know how much detail was relayed, but he said that he did find it was quite inappropriate for the mother to disrupt the... as you said, the most important part of the wedding.
You don't do it.
The first dance of the couple.
That's the whole point. You get married, right? You do the whole ritual up at the front of the church, yeah? And then you go to the wedding reception, and then before the evening celebrations come on, before the dance floor fills with music for people to dance, the married couple...
Do you know what this whole situation reminds me of? There is the movie I absolutely adore, and I must have watched it a million times. It's called Monster-in-Law with Jane Fonda and Jennifer Lopez.
I've not seen it, but I know of the movie.
It's so good. I've recommended it. It's a really funny movie. But it's the same. The mother of the groom just turns into an absolute monster-in-law and tries to ruin the wedding.
Yeah.
Rocks up to the wedding wearing a white dress.
Oh my, which you just don't do. So that's very interesting, right? So, like, has it just become then that, like, mum doesn't want to be upstaged? Mum wants to, like, put her power down, show her authority. He's my son. I dance with him whenever I like. You mess with me, this is what you get. Don't forget, I'm in control.
Yes, that very much seems like a bit of a showdown.
That's the language of like a mum that like interrupts the first dance to take over. That is domination.
That is domination.
Isn't it? That is an aggressive act, actually. If it happened, that is an aggressive act.
So then that would then make sense, like a counteract from Brooklyn.
That would make absolute sense. But that was in 2022.
Like a clapback.
Oh, unbelievable. And you put yourself in his shoes, right? If it's true, then my wife has just been smited badly. Do you know what I mean? This is my wife. This is like, I'm committed to this woman now for the rest of my life, or, you know, as long as possible. But anyway, my point is like, listen, mum, and I can't speak for him, but if the shoe was on the other foot and it was true, I'd be like, look, mum, I love you and all that, but like, back off, mate.
You made an interesting point the other day when we talked about Brooklyn and his father and football.
I was going to come on to that. Yeah, I was going to come on to that. So let me just read his statement, and this is really important. So this is some of the stuff that came out in Jan for those that haven't heard it. So he had been silent for years but felt he had no choice but to speak for himself after his parents and their team kept going to the press. He wrote, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life." And he accused his parents of controlling the narrative in the media and prioritising public image, i.e. brand Beckham, over genuine family relationships. And he claimed his parents had undermined his marriage to Nicola Peltz. So, I mean, put that all together. And you asked which camp I was on. And the reason why I kind of tend to side with the Brooklyn one based on just the information that's swirling around is that this just seems to me like this is a kid. This is a kid that just doesn't want the family brand, doesn't want that lifestyle, wants his own lifestyle. He just wants to live his own life, and it just wants to break free of the control. Now, there's a real big hint to Brooklyn and who he is as a person. You've only got to look at who his dad is. So his dad, David Beckham, wasn't the most amazing footballer in the world. He was really, really good at football, don't get me wrong. England captain, played for Man United, really successful, incredibly good looking. You know, this guy is a Man United icon, right? So he supported Man United as a kid. He's from London, David Beckham, but he supported Man United as a kid. And the reports were that he used to train with the Tottenham youth team and would only agree to train with the Tottenham youth team if they would let him wear his Man United top while he turned up for training, which they did, if the rumours are to be true. So this is a staunch Man United supporter whose dad was a Man United supporter and became a Man United icon. Fast forward to his son Brooklyn choosing to support Arsenal instead of Man United.
Oh.
Now, for those of you that aren't into football, Arsenal and Man United are massive, massive rivals. Big history. David Beckham used to be involved in loads of pitch battles with Arsenal Football Club, and the rivalry is legendary. So for Brooklyn to not support the team that his dad was iconic for, like the rest of his family, but actually go his own way and choose what was his local team at the time, because he I guess was born and grew up in Hertfordshire outside of North London, and he decided to support Arsenal instead. And so much so, he actually played for Arsenal's youth system, but he didn't make it at Arsenal. But my point is, think about this for a minute. This is a boy that is his own man, has his own mind, and is very willing and comfortable making his own way in life and making his own choices and decisions, even if it goes against the grain. So I'm not surprised that he's had the bravery and the courage to go, look, enough. I don't want to be part of the family. I never liked it. I never liked the structure. I never liked what it's become, this representation of a brand rather than a family unit. It kind of, I feel for the guy.
I can even imagine those conversations, like because those Sunday lunch conversations, even from the beginning when his father found out that he doesn't support the team and he supports a completely different team. Like, imagine the bickering round the Sunday lunch.
Well, he tried. I mean, to be fair to Beckham, he accepted it. When he realised that that's the team he liked, he accepted it. But, he obviously tried. But, it's there's a clue there, really, really big clue.
But
so
he has been trying to be his own man.
Yeah.
For years. And that was just not fitting the brand guidelines.
Yeah. You can't support Arsenal. I'm a Man United icon. That's just, what's that going to do for the brand? I don't care about the brand. I just want to support the team I want to support. This is one little isolated incident, but it's a clue into
it's a clue.
Into what's gone on. Yeah, but you don't. Your dad is a Man United legend. You can't support their biggest rivals. Well, but that's the team I like, Mum. You can see it, can't you? You could just imagine how it started to become a bit like, I don't want to be controlled with the brand and what the brand represents. Because you think about it, if you've got this massive family, right, and you've got this huge brand, this huge successful family, like, you toe the line. Yeah. What's the other one? What's that famous? I can't remember what's the famous family? The Kardashians. I can't believe that took me so long.
Very good.
But here's the thing. If you're a Kardashian, you toe the line. Do you know what I mean?
Unless you're a Jenner.
Well,
you toe something else.
Yeah. You've touched on something there that I find really interesting. But my point is there is a structure, and the term I want to use is you don't break rank. But there is an undertone in all of this that I just get an inkling for. Do you want to know what it is?
What?
Is this just publicity?
Oh, for who?
All of them.
All of them? Guess negative publicity is still publicity for... Yeah, interest. You think it's like the media stunt of the year?
What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, that is so true. That is... if it is, it's genius.
And the reason why I sort of bring it, and I waited to the end to sort of bring it in, is that very limited view, so forgive me. I'm going to go into the football thing again, but it's transferable into other things in life. So if I turn on my TV set now, where in the football media, so not the games are the games, you watch them on TV, they get covered, but outside of the games, you've got hundreds of YouTube channels, you've got pundits doing TV shows, you've got hours and hours and hours of radio talk, you've got podcasts, you've got articles, you've got so much content around football. And do you know what 95% of the content around football is? Clickbait. Do you know what I mean by clickbait?
Yeah, like a shocking headline.
Yeah. It's leveraging online media, leveraging clicks to earn money.
Interesting.
So you build wealth through sensationalism and you create drama when there isn't drama to get a bigger audience, to get more engagement, to get more involvement. Now that's just in the football world, right? So there's always a narrative. Whenever there's a game that's happened, there's always a narrative, and the narrative always pisses off a large group of supporters because that then gets the engagement, that gets the debate, that then gets all the clicks.
Yeah.
And I think I've got an inkling feeling here that these families aren't, well, they're very smart people, right? And they're very well advised. This so-called feud, as it is right now, is one of the biggest topics in the world. And I cannot tell you how many millions of pounds are being generated
as we speak
through this feud. Yeah. And there's a small part of me that thinks, is this by design?
Because she is also from an interesting, so she's from a rich background, isn't she?
She's richer than he is.
No way.
She is a billionaireess. Her dad was an investor and I guess still is in New York. Massive wealth, more wealth than the Beckhams.
Wow.
And did you know that she's a famous actress?
No.
I didn't know that. Have you ever seen any of the Transformer movies?
Yeah.
Have you seen the one with Marky Mark in it?
Yeah.
The best one.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's in that.
It's his daughter.
Oh, wow.
The blonde girl.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So she's like she's a true honey. She's a beautiful little girl and a very successful actress in her own right, like a true, like a true celebrity. So you've got these two powerful families that have come together.
And there's a bit of an activism going on there on their side, aren't there?
Oh, apparently so. I don't know much about it, so I didn't mention it. But yes, I have heard very much so. So what is an activist? So you look at it all, right? You look at all the ingredients. Think of it as like a cake. Bit of activism, powerful families, really strong woman, another strong family, two families coming together, two brands,
herd kids.
Yeah. How big did the rift get between Harry and the royal family? How much money did that make?
Who got the money though? Why did that?
Well, but you start to see my point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there weren't a rift, but I'm saying that sometimes opportunity comes out of adversity. And it's the smart people that spot it. Oh no, I can't believe it. Everyone's talking about us. It's all over the news. I can't believe it. And it's like, no, this is good. We can make money from this. We can do this. So there's a little element for me that like some of this maybe a little bit played out. I can't be sure.
It's very interesting you mentioned that there is,
I guess we'll never know, but
there is a person, I think, locally who is currently generating a lot of steam around themselves that started a couple of weeks ago of the back of them being in the news and ending up on this page. Are we dating the same guy?
I remember you mentioning that.
I mentioned that it's a local person, yes, and I feel like it's snowballing, and I feel like it's now being, obviously I stopped following it now because I don't want to feed it.
Yeah.
I just refuse to feed it anymore, so I but I feel like I'm watching it from afar and seeing some of the things, and I'm like, yeah, makes sense. The person's fueling it,
Yeah.
and it's growing,
Yeah.
and it's generating, and people were talking about it, and we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and then my friend goes, well, this is it. We're sitting here talking about it.
Yep.
We are feeding it, and we should not be feeding it.
Yeah.
So what the lesson, I think, for me is, even from the whole, if what you're saying, which is a very, very strong theory there, that we just shouldn't feed it. And I'm probably, after this, I will not even think about it. I will not feed it. Because I stopped feeding the local dudes negative energy that he's putting out there and causing an absolute scene. So why should I feed anything else?
Absolutely. So, brand Beckham has never been bigger.
Interesting.
Think about that.
Well, listen, I wish it was that easy that I could just fall out with my dad and make money out of it. I'd be a millionaire.
Could you imagine, eh? Falling out of your own family and earning out of it.
I think if we got paid for falling out with our family, some of us, there's a lot of us, I think, or a lot of people out there who'd make millions.
I agree.
So, yeah, families are interesting. Family feuds are interesting. Family dynamics. I do have... So, I grew up in a quite a conflicted family and with a lot of feuds. So, I grew up with 4 generations under one roof.
I find that... I still can't get my head around that.
So,
I find that amazing.
Yeah, it was myself, when my brother was born, then we moved into our new home, but it was myself, I was the youngest generation, my parents, then my father's parents, and then their parents, all in one household with one bathroom and one kitchen.
Mate, it does sound like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, doesn't it?
So conflict was rife, and I think maybe that's what put me off watching my family just continuously in conflict and shouting and screaming. And I think that's why I maybe actually ended up doing a mediation practice course and talking about conflict and how to do conflict resolution. And maybe that's why I'm so invested all the time trying to teach people about how to speak their minds and stay kind. But I had a very interesting relationship, obviously, with my dad too, and all my family members. Every year I went home and we would have fallen out over the past, or somebody would drag something up, or somebody would just... And it got to a point whenever I just hated... I hated travelling home to see them.
That's a shame.
Because, like, you only have so many holidays a year.
Yeah.
And I never really... Like, you're taking your holidays to go home to see your family. Mm-hmm. I could have been taking holidays to go somewhere in Spain or whatever, but every year I take my annual leave to go home and spend my time with my family.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute shit show for years. Nearly 15 years of it was just every year, mostly me ending up in tears, and it was just a nightmare. Now,
is this you and your family members, or is it family members amongst themselves as well?
Yeah, it's just
all of it.
It's just all of it.
Dramas.
But I think things have changed. Honestly, like, see the past.
I know a little bit about this, and you have turned this on its head.
I have.
You really have. Congratulations. That's not easy.
I think it was about 5-6 years ago I really started getting into trying to understand. Family constellation is one of those, which is a therapy method from Germany, but also just through self-awareness, mediation practices, and every single book under the sun I could read about.
You educated yourself, didn't you?
I educated myself, but I think I made a commitment and I made a pact with myself that I am going to figure this out for myself and for my family. And I believe that, and I always use this quote, be the change you want to see in others. and I needed to be the change I wanted to see in my family. And I see so many family feuds and so many people falling out.
Yeah.
But they tend to forget that we only have 80 springs, 80 summers, 80 autumns, 80 winters, if we're lucky. And I have already had 41 summers. I count the summers because I go home every year for the summer, because Northern Irish summer is not the best.
It's not summer, is it?
Well, if it was maybe 5 degrees warmer, it'd be Spain with the coastline. But anyway, so I count summers. And I just didn't want to go back to Slovakia and see my family with the same,
Your opportunities were running out, and you wanted to just put a stop.
And it only takes one person, and I decided to take it upon myself to be the change I wanted to see in others.
So you took the initiative.
I took the initiative, and I changed everything from the conversations I would have. You gently start to influence, and you go on a journey with your family, and it's a journey where you can't lecture or teach anyone.
Right.
All you can do is you change your own language, how you talk about others. You change the language, how you talk about yourself. You change the language, and what you do is you're just gently nudge and influence people and hope for the best. And you hope, that the energy that you're putting out there will somewhere influence their thinking. And then you buy books. I bought multiple books for my father, for example, or my grandmother even. Some of them were very much about like family dynamics. Gabor Mate, for example, is a very famous researcher and psychologist, and he wrote fabulous books about family dynamics and trauma and all of that. And I noticed my grandmother, she's 81. And she loves reading, so I, gave her the book and all of that. So, but I also needed to understand that the first so many years when I started this journey with my family, I was carrying the weight of the change in form of it was a lot of the times it started off at 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, and you're build up and you're. And then eventually the family members come round and they start to carry more of the weight because you're influencing them. And last year, I think, started 2 years ago, but last year was the first summer. It was the best summer I had, and not one crossword said.
That is amazing. Can I ask you something?
20 years later, not one crossword said.
It took you 20 years.
Yeah.
It took you 20 years
20 years to have annual leave to go home in the summer without nobody falling out.
Wow. What a monumental effort. I guess if you've got more than just your time on a holiday, you can maybe influence it a bit quicker, but you've only got a very limited summer, which is why you were so conscious of there being only 80. But the fact it took you a quarter of those 80s to put it right. Wow, that's unbelievable. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
So you influenced everyone else through your own behaviours and actions.
Yes.
And you took responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Did that include you saying sorry for the things that were there from the past that you did that maybe they didn't like, and was it you offering forgiveness for some of the things that they did that you didn't like, and all these little spiky things that happen in our history that lead to us being this, in this spiky state in our families where we don't really get on and we don't really respect each other, and we carry grudges?
It's an interesting one. Very good question. For years, I was dying to get an apology from family members. And I was taught, there was one sentence that I was taught by a dear friend of mine, Vivian McKinnon. She said to me one day...
Is that your Scottish mate?
Yes.
She's a legend.
Magic. She's magic. And she said to me, The truth does not have to land on the perpetrator's ears, because for years I was trying to tell the family member who hurt me most that you did this and you did that, and I was walking through life, living my life, holding it as a grudge, holding it as a hot stone in my hand.
Right.
Because that's what anger and that's what the grudge is. The grudge is the hot stone, you're holding it.
Yeah.
And it's only hurting you, no one else, because you're holding it.
Indeed.
And she said the truth does not have to land on the perpetrator's ears for you to gain closure.
Interesting.
The truth have to land on your own ears, because you're the one who forgives.
Right. You control closure.
You're the one who holds the hot stone. It's you control closure, and it's up to you to drop the hot stone. And there's an amazing documentary called Choose Love. I recommend it. Choose Love. And it's all about forgiveness, the whole documentary, and it focuses on some key areas around the world. For example, there's a wonderful Italian lady who was raped, and now she goes around the Italian prisons teaching men about forgiveness, and these are rapists, and she works with them. There is another lady from Rwanda, and she talks about forgiveness and all the people who were killed in Rwanda, and she goes round and teaches people about forgiveness. And there's Aborigines in Australia talk about, integration and talking about forgiveness. But the reason why I'm so kind of invested in forgiveness is I've read a book, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Right.
And Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I'm giving you all these resources because you can do the research yourself.
Something new this week, people.
Something new is
write them down.
Is the book Supernatural, and he explains that how much can holding a grudge in your body physically affect your health, your physical health.
Wow.
The book takes you on a journey of a story of a woman who lost her husband and I can't remember if it was an accident or a suicide. But what she does, every day she relived it in her body.
Toxic, right?
Through memories. She was thinking about him, how she lost him. And what he says in the book, he explains that with her reliving the memory.
Yeah.
And she puts her body through a cycle with
of like trauma.
The hormone.
Oh, so actual physical
cortisol.
Right, which is...
So she was every day, by remembering her husband's death and how much she... Cortisol.
Suffering her husband's death every day.
Through remembering, she put herself through it, and she ended up extremely ill.
So she harmed herself physically,
yes.
By not letting go finding peace.
Yeah, and forgiveness is another one when it comes to grudge. And you holding the grudge like a hot stone, you are continuously zapping yourself with cortisol because you're holding on to that.
That's so interesting because I am the biggest grudge holder that I know.
Yeah.
I'm so bad. I'm bad.
Really?
I
didn't
am
know that.
Mr. Grudge Maker. My defense mechanism, I'm not supporting it. I'm just explaining what it is. I'm not saying it's the way to do it or promoting it, I should say.
Yeah.
But my survival mechanism ever since I've been a kid is to cut people off.
Oh, that's not
If you slight me, that's it.
Oh, that's ruthless.
I cut you. I'm ruthless.
Why is that?
I don't know. For whatever reason, I learned that was a way to survive. But I couldn't honestly tell you because I've always been that way. And I cut people off.
Have people let you down?
Constantly. I'm sure I've let people down as well. It's not exclusive. I'm not perfect, but I've had major letdowns in my life, and my default mechanism when it happens is right. That's it.
Right. Okay. So have a think about right now someone who you cut off, who you're holding a grudge against?
Yeah. I got too many to choose from, but I'll pick one.
If that was the last thing you could do and you're gone tomorrow, would you forgive them?
Yeah. Well, there's layers to that question. So, like, when I cut them off, it's not a statement. It's not a performance. It's a choice. It's a removal of that person and that influence so that so it isn't there. It's not punishment.
If you, let's say you're, it's terrible, but let's say you're ill.
Yeah.
And the magic or the secret ingredients for you to become healthy again is forgiveness. Would you forgive?
I do forgive. Like,
Yeah.
if forgiveness isn't something that doesn't exist, like, I can do it. But my point is that where I get to a point where I've been perceived wrongdoing, or for whatever reason, when I get to the point, I cut them out. I remove them from my life, and so that they're not part of my life anymore. I'm not angry with them anymore. I just decide that you're not good for me, therefore you will not be part of my future. But it's not a performance. It's not. You know, sometimes when you're angry because you want to be angry at that person.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm showing you my anger, and it's about you being on the end of my anger.
What is behind the anger?
I don't demonstrate anger. I just go, right, enough.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
I would wonder whether, like, if we look at it from a point of view that anger is a secondary emotion, what is actually happening behind that?
Yeah, it's not driven by anger. It's more driven by.
Is it shame?
No, it's not shame. It's mostly driven by.
Disappointment?
Yes. Yes. I am not putting up with that anymore. I choose not to. And I vote with my feet. But when I vote with my feet, it's not like the only way I'm going to repeat myself here, but the only way I can describe it is it's not a performance. You know how you can get the ump with someone?
Yeah.
And part of it is you need to suffer for a bit, and you need to apologise, and you need to make it better, and then everything will be all right again. It's not that. It's a cut off. It's like my default is that when important people like do something really, really bad that I think's really not just one thing, but it can be any scenario. But when I get to the point where I can't take any more, then I walk. And I walk and I don't make a drama about it. I just go, and I'm not there anymore, and I don't want to be there, and I don't need their influence.
Do you?
It's gone.
So that is a pretty high standard there. Do you hold yourself up to the same standard?
In what sense?
So let me see if like we're out of time here, so I don't want to go too deep.
We're not out of time. We can carry on talking.
Like, yeah. Because you said that it's you vote with your feet, so you make that decision. So you have a set of expectations for other people, the way you want them to treat you.
Yeah.
And would you have the exact same? Would you also vote with your feet and have the same level of expectations and standards for yourself?
Well, I do.
Because remember I said the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't forgive others, do you forgive yourself?
It's not that I don't forgive them. It's just that I don't tolerate it anymore. I cut it out. It's gone.
trying to figure out where I'm going with this, but yeah, no. It's
it's an interesting one.
It's an interesting one, yeah.
So what you've got is you've got family feuds where you still want to be in a relationship. And those feuds, and that you kept going back each summer, kept going back, and then there was feuds, but you always had that desire to still be connected.
The reason why I did that, I actively went through the pain of trying to fix my family.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were some elements of it that were out of my hands when there was a person that was removed out of the family, which was not part of the family. It was just a partner, my father's ex-partner, who is now no longer with us, but he's got a new girlfriend. But anyway, but I actively wanted to fix it, and the reason why I wanted to actively fix my family dynamics, and I did, because I keep going back to the same thing about the way we do anything is the way we do everything, meaning subconsciously our family dynamics, and we talk about family constellations, is some of the challenges that we experience in our life as individuals are part of a bigger picture. It's a subconscious dynamic of our family that is affecting us. And that then affects our relationships, affects our performance in work. I'll give you an example. A simple low self-esteem that was programmed into you as a child from your family dynamic can affect your performance in work.
Oh my God, I suffer that badly. Like trauma from a childhood. My goodness, yeah.
Or we can even talk about, let's take a completely different context here. Go into an entrepreneurship. If you were taught in your family dynamics that money doesn't grow on trees, or money is hard to come by, and you're trying to start a business, unless you address that, and there's another saying around Carl Jung, and I use these, I'm full of quotes tonight, but until you make the unconscious conscious, you will let it direct your life and call it fate. So until you uncover these subconscious family dynamics that are directing your life, you will move through life trying to figure yourself out, turn yourself inside out, thinking, why is my performance shit? Or why can I not do business? Or why are my relationships not great? And I was like that with relationships. And I always say this to women and men, stop dating your father, stop dating your mother. I needed to heal my relationship with my father. So I was able to look at men a different way, a healed way.
Yep.
Because if you have a broken relationship with your parent, you will look at the world through that lens.
Yeah, you exercised your trauma. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I understand. I think I carry trauma, like massive.
Yeah.
Like I have huge insecurities, massive insecurities. Like I doubt myself to ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
I overthink too much.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am my own worst enemy. And so I understand the whole sort of, childhood trauma and that kind of stuff. But I guess what I was trying to explain is that, and I don't know what it says about me, but I'm saying it anyway, just to share it, that when it comes to family members, when I get to the point where I'm done and I'm at the point of no return, my route is that I just go, and then that is it. I don't go to be necessarily dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't go as a statement or a performance in the hope that instills a reaction from them and it all whatever. I literally go and go. It's almost like inside I'm like, you're not good for me anymore.
Yeah.
Therefore,
I'm gone.
You shouldn't be a part of my life because you're a negative in my life.
I could have done that. I could have just...
You could have done.
I could have done that. You know what? Can't be bothered. We're just arguing every year and I'm not coming home. Sort this. I could have done that. But I don't know, deep down, I always loved my family, and they make me... I am who they are.
Yeah.
They are who I am.
Yeah.
And we're so intertwined. So...
Yeah.
I just adore my family, especially now that we figured out our differences. It's just so much fun to go home, and it's my favourite time of the year now to go home.
Do you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think when you was a kid, it was difficult, but I think you were loved.
Oh, 100%.
And it's that loved feeling that you had
I missed it.
that kept a flame in you to correct connections.
And we had so much laughter, do you know, and I was like, where's the laughter, where's the bond? And like growing up, we kept animals, and we were growers, you know, gardeners, and
It sounds so cool. It sounds like Enid Blyton.
so we were doing everything together, you know, from the crack of dawn till late of evening. Everything was a team effort, and we lost the team effort for a few years.
Right.
And I just wanted to bring team spirit. We lost the team spirit, and I just wanted to bring that team spirit back, and I did. And
you
honestly,
succeeded.
and I succeeded. Yeah. Well, there's still, you know, a bit of work to do, but yeah, I succeeded. Thanks very much for that.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the, and this is interesting because this is falling into my brain as we're talking about it, and I've never really thought about this before, but this is what I think it is. I think when you was I'm imagining that when you was a kid, you had lots of love, and that kept you warm, kept you connected, and kept you with a desire to put things right.
Oh, 100%.
And I think my experience when I grew up as a kid was the opposite.
Okay.
So, and I think actually, if you think of my actions, they're quite cold.
Yeah. When you say that you just walk away, yeah, that's quite ruthless and just, yeah.
Without drama. Oh, right. Yeah. But that's that then. I'll just not have that. I'm choosing not to have that. So it's a very cold decision, but like I say, it's a very clean, cold decision. So I suffer, and I admit I suffer it. So I suffer with cold, immediate disconnection, and then I just live my life without them. And that's my choice.
That nearly sounds like a punishment.
Yeah.
To yourself.
Well, maybe, but that's my default. That's my default. And I think that comes from a lack of love when you're a kid, actually, because there's no flame, there's no desire to maintain.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not worth it. What am I holding on to?
Can we ignite that flame again? Can you ignite that flame again? Do you want to?
I don't know. I haven't read as many books as you.
Oh no, I'll bring
but
you
maybe
up.
there's a new me waiting to come out. But it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting.
Right,
we're well over time here.
I don't think that matters. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I was riveted with what you were sharing there. I thought it was tremendous. But you remember you started this podcast, and I'll end with this full circle. Do you remember what you said? We said don't give up on the 9th episode, and you know what is it? We're giving up early, but you should stick with things. Stick with things. How about 20 years?
It's
to fix the family.
It's interesting.
How about that for keeping going?
Yeah, how about that's for commitment?
Commitment. That was the word. It's
interesting. Yeah, commitment. Yeah, that's how I started the show tonight, saying, you know, my word for 2026 is commitment.
Yeah.
Committed.
Yeah, and if has anyone ever demonstrated as much commitment as you? I don't think so. Tremendous effort.
Committed to positive change.
Indeed. Well, listen, I celebrate you. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
I guess just very quickly to do a bit of housekeeping
let's do that.
You can find us obviously on YouTube for those that are watching at TMI Thursdays, and for those of you watching on Facebook, hello again. And you can find us at TMI Thursdays on Facebook. You could also find us on Spotify if you just want the audio version of the podcast, again at TMI Thursdays. A bit of a running theme here, and you can find Adriana on TikTok.
I have a new name.
You do have a new name.
And I'm stuck with it for the next 30 days. TikTok only allows you to change your name every 30 days. But my new name is Spicy But Fair.
Yeah, I think we can all agree you're fair.
There's one thing that proves unfair. I have splinters in my ass. I try to be. I know I sit on a fence, but because I'm trying to be fair, that's why I sit on a fence.
Indeed. So, yes, and on all our social feeds, you can find a link to our coffee account. That's
buy us a coffee.
KOFI, where you can buy us a coffee as a form of a donation, which would be absolutely awesome. But as we do every week, we want to encourage people to integrate with the show and participate. So give us the thumbs up, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, share us with your network. That really helps us. We're not giving up. We're going to grow and grow and grow, and we need your help in order to do it. And give us some suggestions. Talk to us.
Yeah, talk to us. Leave us comments.
Here. We're available.
I'm going to do at the end of this, I'm going to do the awkward dance, and I'm going to have to get up and stop the live on Facebook.
You are.
Because I don't have a remote control.
Indeed. And I'm going to try and not pick it up on the microphone when I do it. So that just leaves us to close off the show then. Thank you so much, everybody. Love, life, and unity from me to you. Adios, amigos.
Good night from me.
Next Thursday.